All right. It is April 6th. Let's do a fucking art direction project overnight. Interstellar! My name is Ricky Ratushniak, and today we're going to be talking about the feature film Interstellar. So this is a movie set in a future where the human species is basically on the brink of extinction, and it's up to Matthew McConaughey to basically save that. Although the movie's set in the future, it still has a very old school look to it. A big theme in the movie is that humanity has stopped moving forward and is now moving backward. So the art department used a lot of old school parts and stuff that we'd see nowadays. So let's start off with the farmhouse. They built this thing from scratch and planted all the corn you see around it. And they wanted to do this in Alberta, Canada, to kind of give off the vibe that humanity is now planting corn where they don't usually plant corn. Next, we've got the space station. Because the space station is 360 degrees round, Christopher Nolan wanted to build the space station sets on a giant curved platform so that when shooting in one room, when it would look into another room, the floor would kind of curve upward. Most of the parts used to build the spaceship were actually recycled plane parts.
A lot of this is, we ended up going to the scrapyard. I mean, these are galley boxes from aeroplanes. These are actually galley units from aeroplanes that we just retrofitted. The problem is to travel vast distances is you have to take everything with you because it's space. So the amount of stuff you need to carry is vast. So everything is storage. A lot of this stuff was built on the idea that you'd have 4 engine pods and you'd have to rotate. This ship is about rotation and slow moving. It's like a truck. It lumbers along. You know, you wouldn't have big windows. I mean, you're trying to protect yourself from somewhere you shouldn't be in space, so the windows are small.
They basically had to replicate the control room twice. To simulate zero gravity, they basically had to replicate 2 versions of the control room, one for vertical and one for horizontal zero gravity. The spacesuits used in this movie were basically designed just to look like the next generation of our modern spacesuit. The suits were actually equipped with cooling gels because of how hot it would get on set and because of how long they would have to be there for. Another really cool thing about this movie is the dust storms that they created. By using some kind of product used as a filler in food, they managed to create full-fledged dust storms.
I have to say I completely underestimated how much dust we were going to produce, and on the day, I mean, the town was covered. And I went back 2 days later and there was not, no pun intended, there was not a speck of dust. So our cleanup crew was fantastic. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. More that we got rid of it than that we were able to use it at all.
All these things combined give this movie an incredibly authentic look and feel to it. Christopher Nolan wanted to minimize the use of CG on this film, so the art department was incredibly crucial to really selling it. Well, that's pretty much all I got. Yeah.
The big-eared bandit is tossing all his manners in a bag and wrapping them in some random rap.